bet. I wouldn't take $1 million for this. Mongo gave me this years ago when he wrote it. So much genius in every word. I want you to, it's hard to catch because there's so much coming at you. But every word's a jewel of genius, so I really want you to take this in. This is a poem by our beloved, honored Dr. Mongo. It's been taking too long to get around to what he has to say, and I'm so excited that I have an opportunity to steal your work in front of everybody. What a joy! I get to be really brilliant for this moment. Calling 21st century poets, first call. Calling 21st century poets, hardcore, vitriolic underground poets, outspoken, spoken word guerrilla poets, to challenge the system, declare war on class and privilege, homelessness, poverty, hunger, hoist the flag, carry the torch of love and peace, burn pyramid pyres and set the world aflame with scorching truth is knowledge. Calling 21st century poets to confront, tear down, pulverize Stone Age myth, lore, superstitions, and the rubbish of recycled, refrigerated hypocrisy, shamhood, and questionable paradigms. Calling 21st century poets, underground guerrilla poets, outspoken, spoken word poets, to delivery, fiery words, constant tirades, harsh verbal assaults, oratorical death blows against tyranny, intimidation, torture, execution, blanket assassinations, and forced suicides. 21st century poets against injustice, racism, sexism, prejudice, bigotry, ethnic cleansing, and border vigilantism, steeped in opinionated oligolisms. 21st century poets against executive, legislative, judicial exclusion, slavery, genocide, extinction. 24th century poets against pseudo-historians, preachers, personalizing hatred, race supremacy, and fanning incendiary flames of fanaticism coded in the written and spoken word. Calling to arms 21st century poets, dissident, revolutionary lip masters to hurl explosive word bombs and corrupt self-serving institutions, creating dumbed-down mentalities to serve and protect the pompous and loquacious philosophical gurus and eccentric social planners, intellectualizing from swell heads, squeezed by helmets, stocking caps, and greasy do-rags, frail twisted bodies, cloaked beneath white frocks, robes, camouflage khakis, and three-piece suits. Calling 21st century poets to stand, step up, and revive the voices of Ezekiel, Jeremiah, and prophets, howling in the wilderness, throating denunciatory complaint protest against eroders of freedom and liberty, poisoners of ecosystems, environment, village, community, mind, body, with stealth, flying salt shakers, dispensing germs, disease, plague, and unsuspecting mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, and live-in pets. Calling 21st century poets to rail against government-sponsored drug prohibition, agricultural arsonists, or global juggernauts financed by military-industrial complex, carried out by scorched earth policies with search and destroy brutality in our backyards and homes. Calling dedicated, frontline, uncorruptible poets, spoken word poets, to expose the pharmaceutical government university complex, the privatized prison criminal justice system complex. 21st century poets to unmask zebrine provocateurs spewing hatred, discord from spaceships and cavernous catacombs. Calling 21st century poets, hardcore, vitriolic, underground poets, outspoken, spoken word guerrilla poets, iconoclastic, revolutionary, die-hard poets, to pound home Milton's dictum, the pen is mightier than the sword, and do battle against powerful, greedy, corporate, musketeer, plutocrats, oligarchs, international bankers, and unprincipled industrialists, shipping deadly viruses, contaminating foods, and markets with cloned, vegetative, and meat products approved by underhanded USDA inspectors, neatly wrapped and packaged at fast food chains, tempting our finger-licking good appetites with assembly line biscuits and bleached French fries. Calling 21st century poets, verbal soldiers, oral mercenary crusaders, David versus Goliath types to slingshot vituperative diatribes, wield ox goads and donkey jawbones, as did Shagmar and Samson, crumble pillars of corruption erected on propagandized foundations, flooding ignorance and fear. 21st century poets to expose and rebuke appointed Benedict Arnold sitting in high places and overseeing governments while usurping and compromising civil individual rights. Calling 21st century poets to raise up a hibernating, narcotized people, a complacent, forgetful, gullible people, a trusting, lovable rainbow people, to raise the bar and lambast, admonish, censure, and condemn poachers and polluters, killing and testing dead concoctions on indigenous, aboriginal, poor, oppressed, conquered, imprisoned cargo, snatched and shipped from past tense to present day penitentiaries, building as usual concentration camps, black and brown leper colonies, dotting rural landscapes with oversized pill boxes controlled and operated by Kermalionic devils calling 21st century writers, musicians, rappers, activists, citizens, poets of the world to speak out against capital punishment is murder, against manufactured starvation, food not bombs, against flagrant child labor, deforestation, international